Hi, I'm Courtney. Welcome to the STEM Spark. Today, we are going to be reviewing a couple of STEAM products. So, one I know I love, I use all the time. And then one, we're going to kind of do an unboxing, discover it together. So, let's jump in. All right, so the first product I want to share with you is this Archimedrix. I think that's how you say it. It is 3D magnetic tiles used for architecture. The box tells you in this 100-piece set, there's 30 squares, 4 semicircles, 5 pentagons, 20 equilateral triangles, 6 kite shaped figures, 6 parallelograms, 6 trapeze, 6 isosceles, and 17 right triangles. So it is a 100-piece set. This has a lot of possibilities. It does tout the STEAM education. Um, and so let me show you and tell you a little bit about what I do with this. So, age grade range, honestly, I use this kindergarten through 8th grade. Most kids who like to build at all will love these. So, for those of you who are not as familiar, this is how it comes when you open it. Um, but the shapes are simple. Some of them are see-through. Actually, a lot of them are see-through. Some of them just have the edges. Some of them are filled in, but they all have magnets in the sides here. And so they connect together. So you can do side to side or you can do side to edge so that it starts to be 3D, 3 dimensional. Um, and honestly, I know we say this a lot, but the possibilities truly are endless with this kind of activity. Kids can really just create anything they want. Well, within reason. There are some limitations because of the shapes and sizes and such, but it's truly phenomenal. You really can do a lot. Let me move that out of the screen. The subject, I would say you can do a lot with math. You can definitely do a lot with engineering. I would say there's probably some science applications somewhere in there. Definitely art. It does come just as a kit, just a set, maybe would be a better way to describe it. Different sets come with different types of shapes. And so if you know your kid is really into trains, different kits will actually come with wheels and boxes that you can build the car onto, and then they can drive it around. So look for a set that has the things that your students or your children are interested in. They really are very diverse. I use these all the time. Um, with my littles, maybe we're just building shapes. So I'll say, hey, take some shapes and try to build a big square. Or we could do letter recognition. And so I'll say, take some shapes and let's see if we can make a D out of the shapes. And so now they're trying to configure the different sizes and different shapes in order to make a specific letter. A lot of times I will use this as a creativity station. If you've seen other episodes or listened to the podcast, you know, like creativity is a big deal with me. And so I will just let them build. Like sometimes it's just creativity day and they get to pick the building material and just build whatever they want. Sometimes it is, I like to do a game called Build A. And I have this spinny wheel. It's just an online spinny wheel. And I spin it and then it says build something you use at the beach. And so they would have to build something related to that or build something you'd find in a castle. And so it's really fun. It gives them some parameters. So we're kind of targeting their thinking and creativity, but it does help them to kind of have the freedom to create different things. And so everybody doesn't have to just create the one thing. Another thing I do with these, which I love watching and just kind of being in the room with, is again, I love read alouds, which you already know if you've watched other episodes, but I will read a book about puppies aloud. And then with my littles, I will say, okay, all of our build stations today has to do with dogs. And so you can build anything related to a dog you want to build. And so I've watched kids build dog houses. I've watched them build dog bowls and treats and toys. And it's really been super cute to watch and see what all their creativity allows them to do with that. But it does kind of rein it in a little bit. So it gives them some soft walls, if you will, around a specific kind of topic or idea. This teaches all kinds of topics. You can use it to teach all kinds of things, like we talked about shapes, letters, etc. You can do geometric figures for the older kids. You could do different types of like larger shapes, like build an octagon, build a decagon kind of thing. Or you could even do like three-dimensional, like some grade levels really emphasize three-dimensional shapes, and so having them try to build those types of things as well. um, it can be used, like there are lots of standards it can in align to. I don't know those right off the top of my head, but I know for certain that this hits a lot of different standards. It does encourage creativity for sure. Critical thinking, I think so. With certain applications, I think so. One of the and actually I think it was first graders that came up with this idea, but we had building stations out and each table was a different material. This was definitely one of them. But they started building, I think it might have been a rainbow, but they started building a rainbow at maybe the Unifix Cube station. And then they challenged themselves to build a rainbow at every station. And so it was so cute watching them try to discover, like, okay, well, here's what we have. Here are the colors we have. How can we do kind of a rainbow effect, even if it isn't like the standard rainbow? How do we get it to arch? How do we get, like, it was really cool to watch them challenge themselves for that critical thinking, problem solving kind of component. It's great for collaboration. Kids work really well together with things like this. I would say, just depending on your classroom and your grade level, setting those expectations of like, hey, if somebody else wants some squares and you have all the squares, what do we do? And just kind of talking through things like that. It's super easy to get started. This is seamless. There's low prep. I mean, I literally just put them in a bin and sit them on the table. Um, Directions are pretty easy. I just give verbal directions. If I'm doing the spinny wheel, that's on the board. I project that, but it is not a high prep, high intensity kind of thing. It is super fun, super engaging. I'm telling you, kids all the way through middle school will engage with this product. It definitely keeps them interested because the possibilities are endless. And they always want to play with these things. I have middle schoolers come in my room, and if we're doing like a low key day because of testing or something, they will frequently ask, "Hey, Miss Lewis, can we get the magnet tiles out or what have you?" And so it is super fun. They want to do them again and again. I Most of the building materials I have, I don't know, like even Unifix cubes and pattern blocks, like they still love building with them, especially when it's a little bit less restricted. So it's super great. I love it. You can use it over and over. They are very sturdy, which is something I look for my room because I'm seeing 400 kids in a week. So they are pretty sturdy. I haven't had any to break or get damaged over several years of use. And so I think this is a solid investment. I will say that the price point is my hindrance. Like, that's really my only hindrance. This set, specifically this one, on Amazon, now granted that's the only one I priced out, was $25.99, which to me is a little pricey. I am also a very frugal kind of person, and so I have very strong opinions about pricey. And so this feels a little pricey to me. However, I will say that these are really quality. I have also ordered some from Temu. Had not I That was one of the first things I had ever ordered, and I was like, hey, they're cheap. If they break in a year, I mean, it's not a huge hit to the budget, but they have held up. They're great. The kids love them. I will say that I have also seen them at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. So if you have those kind of big box stores in your area or something similar, look in the kids' toy section, because they typically are about half to two-thirds of the price of the like $25-26 range. Um, I actually got these. I don't know if you guys, well, they're super popular now. So we just call them bin stores, because literally they throw everything in bins and you have to like sort through it. Some of them I hear are more organized. Ours is not. So I had to dig through. But I got this set at a local bin store for $10. And it being 100 pieces, I was like, that's totally worth it. So that was even cheaper than TJ Maxx or Marshalls. Not a guarantee, because obviously it's just random at the bin store what they have. But those are a few options for you for getting um, reasonably priced. Generally, these are just called magnet tiles or magnetiles, because they just have the magnets and their tile like structures. So, love it. 1000% recommend. I will say, if your students or kids are specifically interested in a specific kind of topic, so like cars or trains, or you're doing a force and motion unit and you want to kind of incorporate stuff, spend the money on the kit that has the stuff you want, because it is worth it. It lasts. You can pass it down, pass it on. They last forever. So they're very durable. Ultimately, if that's what you know your kids or students will use and enjoy, I think it's definitely worth it. Definitely recommend it. I would buy it again. I literally just bought this week. We're coming back here in about a month, and so I was like, yeah, I could totally use some extra magnet tiles. We'll beef up the collection. So definitely recommend, and I would give this 5 stars for sure. So 5 out of 5, fully recommend. 2 thumbs up. All right, so that is the first recommendation that I've definitely used. My next product is Paper Flowers Science Kit. So this is Crayola. It is marketed as a STEAM product. This is obviously art. You can talk about science, chromatography, all kinds of different components of science in this. We are going to unbox it and look at it together if I can find the opening. Oh, here we go. I found this on sale at Hobby Lobby. If you have a Hobby Lobby in your area, they frequently have kits like this. There's the traditional Hobby Lobby sticker. So the original price was $23.99, and then the sale price was $12, so it was half off. I definitely felt like this was going to be worth it for the $12. I'm pretty frugal, so I don't know that I would have spent the $24 on it, but let's see. Let's open it up. It comes with, so this is basically creating different color flowers with paper. And then it has the build kit. So you build the flower, you put water in the bottom, and then it's got the colorful dyes, and then you just let the paper absorb. So this has 6 flower pots, 6 flower pot covers, 12 petal sheets. So you could do 12 flowers, or you could just make your flowers bigger. A watering can, a white crayon, 12 cores, 12 tips, 3 ink bottles of different colors, 3 pipsqueak skinny markers so you can add your own decorations, and a color mixing chart, 12 petal funnels, and instructions. So this kit is designed, it says 7 plus. So let's dive in, and I will tell you if I feel like this is 7 plus or if you could use it in different grade levels. So unboxing it, we've got the bag of materials. We've got our flower pots. There are 6 of them indeed. And then I also will tell you, as I'm taking this stuff out, that I really love things that give me a really good idea. And then if I can use what I've already purchased and kind of do it on a bigger scale, I will do that. So here's the instructions. Oh, it even gives you a place to write down, like if you want certain hues or whatever, you can write down on your chart. But it's very visual, very informative. It looks pretty good. All right. And then we have our flower papers here. Okay, so I'm going to move this over, and then let's take out. So we have our tips and our stems. We've got the flower funnel, I think is what they called that. And then this is the top to the flower pot. We have our little watering can. How cute is that? We have our different colors. And then we also have the markers they give you for extra decoration, I guess. All right, so, oh, there's the white crayon. Let's see what we've got here. It tells us to build a flower, press the cover into the flower pot. So we're going to put a cover in. And then insert a core into the bottom of the petal funnel. So we've got our core, and this just looks like, if you've ever opened up a marker, that's what it looks like. It looks like the cotton kind of inside, and then it's got the wrapper on the outside so that if you have to touch it, you're not going to get as much of the color on your hands. So we've got that, a core into the bottom of the funnel. So where did I put my funnel? I swear I took one out. There it is. It's clear, so it's kind of hard to see. So we put this in here. Okay. That kids may need a little help with because it did kind of catch a little bit on the outside coating. So that may need to be, depending on the age of your student or your child, that may need to have a little assistance with that. All right, next step, carefully pop out 4 petals from a petal sheet, arrange them from smallest to largest, from top to bottom. Wrap the petals around a pencil so they pop up. So it even gives you a tip on how to wrap the petals so they look a little more realistic. So I do have a pencil. So we've got this type of petal. And each sheet, it looks like, comes with like the smallest to largest. So we've got smallest, medium, bigger, and then the biggest there. So we've got that shape. It does come with several different types of flower shapes. We've got this shape, and then there's an even bigger one. That shape. Oh, you can't see it very well. So yeah, this looks great. It looks very thorough. They've got lots of options. I do love that it has options. It's not all the same thing. So we're gonna pop this out. I would say so far, grade range, I would probably do this with second grade. So probably, yeah, about 7. First, second grade, 7, 8. And then if I did it with first graders, which I definitely think you could do, I would just pre-pop these and just have them available so that they didn't get ripped or anything like that. You could also, if you have kids with diverse needs, you can also do things like that to kind of aid in the process so it's a little less frustrating, just depending on hand-eye coordination and patience level and things like that. They all play a factor. I also have found that diverse grouping, so if you're going to do like a group of kids, putting students that have a little bit more patience and attention to detail with students who typically are kind of like, let's just do it, will help kind of moderate that situation a little bit naturally. Um, and then like you've got your students who or your kids that are leaders, and then the others that are more follower and let somebody else take control. So kind of thinking about those diverse grouping kind of ideas. So I've popped out my petals. I'm going to take my pencil and kind of roll the smaller ones up, and it does work. Like you literally just kind of hold it and roll, and it gives it a cute little kind of curve to it. Actually looks pretty good. I'm just gonna do the smaller ones like that because I want a little bit more full. I don't want it to be too curled. So there we go. That looks pretty good too. It's just got a nice little curve to it. So it says to layer them smallest to largest. I'm going to go that way. And then I'm also rotating them a little bit so that all of my petals aren't the same, facing the same direction, so that my flower has a little bit more depth to it. Okay, so we've aligned the center holes. That's very important. We've layered them, and then it says to press the tip. So this is the tip that it comes with through the hole. And then we are going to push the flower down through the cover so the core is about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of the pot. Oh, wait. Insert the tip through the holes. Press the tip and petals into the funnel. Sorry, I missed a step. We're going to press the bottom of this tip into the funnel. And yeah, I would say your older students may not need help with that, but you do have to really press to get it to hold. And so, how beautiful. I'm already impressed. So that may need to be an assisted kind of part component to that. I love the curved petals and how they really kind of fold up when you put them in the funnel part. So that's cool. Now this goes directly into, there is a little, let me see if I can get it close enough. You see that little stem at the bottom? I think that is there to hold it. So want to make sure we get the core on that so it holds it tight. Okay, so now it says choose your color from the mixing guide. Squeeze a total of 20 drops through the hole in the cover. All right, so here we have the hole. So this is where you're going to put your mixing drops and your water. And so let's see. My favorite color is purple. So I think I'm going to look at my mixing guide and maybe do something like that. So, we've got these shades. So, and it tells you like this color this way. So I'm going to go in this kind of purpley column, and I'm going to do 17 of the magenta drops and 3 blue. So this is the container. It's just like a food coloring bottle, twist off, it's got the same kind of cap and tip. And then I'm just going to count 2, 3, 4. I think that might have been 18, but that's okay. I don't care if it's a little more pink. So I'm going to just, because I accidentally put in 18, it says 20, I'm just going to do 2 blue. This is a really great opportunity for students to demonstrate that control and really work on that fine motor control. So I would suggest or encourage maybe that if you have the ability to let them do that part, then let them, because it's a really great way for kids to start to develop those skills. All right, so now we've got our 20 drops, and then it says fill up the watering can with water, carefully pour it through the hole. Again, if you've got students that are capable of that, I would encourage it. And I'm going to just angle that water so it gets all of those drops down in there. Guys, this is happening so fast. It's already pulling it up the core. That is amazing. I really didn't expect it to be that fast. All right, we're going to give it just a minute. Observe, watch the color travel up the core into the flower petals. Check on your flower to see how far the color has traveled. So right now, ooh, it's starting. I don't want to tip it too much. Let me see if I can do this easily. I already see it's coming through the tip. So it is coming in. And yeah, that's really cool. Oh yeah, it's really doing it. That's so neat. All right. Sorry. So we can see that it's already starting. So this would be great to talk about chromatography, flowers. You can talk about pollination. There's so many different applications for this. It is really starting to absorb that color. I love that it's purple on one side and kind of pinky on the other, which is really cool. A great conversation to have with students. We talk about capillary action, all kinds of stuff. So let's wrap it up because we're getting to the end of the time here. I love this. I think this is great. I would say definitely worth $12 for sure. Maybe I would have spent the $24 on it. I would use this elementary through and through. I think all of my grade levels would really like it. I think that the components are pretty easy to get. I will say that having these kind of things do really help the process. I would imagine that once the paper dries, we could transfer that to maybe a straw or something like that for students to take home. I definitely don't have the budget for them to take the whole flower pot home. But if you're doing this as a homeschool parent, what a wonderful way to like maybe introduce spring and talk about those science concepts. Definitely worth it. Oh, I'm very impressed. I love that. So definitely recommend 100%. Lots of different applications, super easy to use. Directions are super very straightforward. So wonderful. I love it. So again, this is Crayola's Paper Flower Science Kit made by Crayola. So if you liked it as much as I did, check it out. Check your local stores and get you one for you. All right. Well, thanks for watching the STEM Spark. I hope these reviews were helpful for you, and we'll catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always suggest it to somebody else. If you know somebody that could use these kind of reviews, send it to them. Bye.